30 minutes of friends talk about everything that matters to women. Welcome to the lounge.
But I know when we were younger, we all had like a dream car, we could say, regardless if it's like an SUV, a luxury car, even a classic car. How do you feel about cars in general, and what is your type of car?
Yeah. Well, for me, I'm generally more into like a sports car, and sometimes I would prefer a classic car.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's amazing. What about you?
I honestly, here's the thing. I feel like it depends on my personality. When I was younger, I thought that I'm gonna end up with a truck.
Right.
Generally, I thought that I was the coolest girl in the world. I'm gonna be like driving over the other cars. I'm gonna be so cool. But then when I'm grown now, I think it changed for me. I still went for my dream car, but then I realized my dream car wasn't it.
Okay, tell us about that.
The thing is like, you have like an image in your head, even though I think it's just like whatever, it's the external. But when I started driving it, it was completely different than what I expected. It wasn't the most practical car that I need.
Right.
And then you don't think about it. Like sometimes you'd be like, oh, the car is so beautiful, but then is it really practical enough where you live? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, you know what, I'll drive it for like a couple of years and then maybe I'll sell it or something. But I think it's more of, I just love big cars.
Makes a lot of sense. Honestly, I don't know what kind of car I'm into. It's something I haven't figured out yet. And I noticed I don't even care for cars, which is the crazy part. I know everyone is working towards a certain car or, you know, I don't know, buying their dream car or leveling up, whatever it is. For me, I don't have that. Like, I never see a car and go like, I really want this car. So maybe that's the reason I'm not like excited to drive. But it's working for me, I guess, till now.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like cars are a big deal. And I would be scared to go through what you are going through, you know, thinking this is my perfect car, I want this one, and then it doesn't work out.
Well, the thing is, I think it's an experience at the end of the day. You know what I mean? For me, if I didn't get that car, I wouldn't have, you know, knew the bad things about it.
Right.
But also, at least I got to enjoy my dream. You know what I mean? I brought it like to life. But now, after I got it, it's more of the next car has to be more practical for me. Because I wouldn't want to get like a fancy car or luxurious car. I generally don't care no more. Yeah, it's just, I want something that is practical where I can like, you know, feel free like parking anywhere or like, you know, I just tiny cars don't work for me. And then again, for me, I had to think about like the weather and like how like it works with the street and where you live. Again, it depends on like where you live, but that's why people go for certain cars that don't really work in your country. And you know what I mean? So there's like bigger picture to it. It's not just like the image, and that's why I don't really care no more.
Yeah, this is so true because before I used to love the sports car. I mean, I still do. It's just like you said, the weather, it just doesn't help much. So you have to go with something like you can drive every day, especially when you're heading to work or you got a lot of things to do in your everyday to-day life. So you have to like choose a thing, but then, you know, you still have a dream car that you have, and I would still want to purchase my dream car, which is a sports car and somehow a classic car at the same time. So I don't know if what I'm preferring is a classic or that, but it's definitely not going to be for here. Definitely.
It makes a lot of sense. And I think we're seeing it so often now that people have their practical car and then their dream car.
Exactly.
Something they don't drive every day. Sometimes, you know, ship it with them if they're traveling or when the weather is good. So there's ways around it. And I feel like it's great because it helps us work harder, build more, and hopefully reach our dreams when it comes to cars.
That's true.
Yeah, I honestly don't care much. And I never realized how much people like actually ship their cars.
They do.
They do that all the time. They do that all the time.
Yeah. Girl, I didn't know. I thought when you study abroad or like when you work abroad, but people do it for vacation.
Exactly.
And I'm like, are you joking?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
it doesn't
make sense.
It's so
But
true.
I watch videos of like people like, and I see the plates and I'm like, oh, it's from Kuwait. And I'm like,
and there's plenty, especially these days.
Yeah.
They're becoming very
especially
famous.
in London and France.
Exactly.
They're all over.
In Spain now.
Yes,
Monaco.
that is so true. Yeah.
I'm getting confused, but like, hey, I'm here for it and I appreciate it. People are enjoying
I mean,
their
you got money, you can do whatever. Like
Yeah,
that, but if we're
definitely.
like on a budget, it's like, okay, I have to think about it 10,000 times before I like it. Yeah.
Exactly.
true.
I feel like if you are able to ship your baby with you, and by your baby I mean your car, why not?
Exactly.
You know, if it's gonna be a stretch, let's not go there and just rent a car wherever we are traveling.
Exactly.
Honestly, it's such a big subject when it comes to cars, and I feel like let's take a quick break. The best part about sports cars is all the speeding, all the racing. Obviously, I don't know much about that, but do we enjoy seeing cars speed or being in a car that is actually speeding?
Well, to me, I absolutely love race cars for sure, especially the sport ones. And when I see them, it doesn't have to be necessarily the streets in general, because I wouldn't prefer to see that kind of a speed going, especially when you're in a normal place where, you know, there's families, there's a lot of things going on, you know? So I would prefer pretty much seeing them in the racetracks.
Right.
And this is what I love to do all the time. I just pretty much go to circuits and I just love watching them race from time to time. But like seeing them in general speeding on the streets is a different case that I wouldn't want to mention because, you know, it's all about safety there, right?
Definitely. For sure.
The thing is, the cars freak me out, generally speaking, I'll be honest. Car racing is completely fine. I think it's just some people have their own passion, their hobbies.
Right.
Again, there's like, you know, tracks for that. And I love and I appreciate it, but also I'd rather people keep it there. Like when you see it in like a regular street,
Definitely.
that would freak me out because you're not just putting yourself in jeopardy, but also the other people around you.
Exactly.
And then also the sound is literally so strong and super high to the point
true.
where I get scared for my life.
I know.
And I ask a question, I'm like, am I gonna die? Somebody's gonna die. You know what I mean? So I'm like, why are you putting everybody through like the risk? It's
so
just,
true.
Yeah, it's so freaky.
See, that's the thing. One of my sister's cars is a sports car, actually, and I know when she gets home.
Okay.
Literally, I can hear her from like the other side of the exactly. She's parking, and I would be like, "Oh, can you grab something from the other car?" I know she left her car at that moment, so it is loud.
Yeah.
I don't hate the sound. I don't love it either, but like I'm not crazy to the extent yet where I can tell the difference. Like my sister's at the point where she's like, that car sounds amazing, and I'm like,
I get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I totally get your sister because it depends on the type of a car you're talking about. It actually does make sense. But there are certain types of cars, especially the ones that are like, you know, the truck types that have really bad noise to it, and it's just like I cannot deal with it. It's like a ship like passing by, and I'm like, okay, I can't deal with this. But there are certain sports cars, I just love the sound of it.
it's like
just
my
music
sister
to my
talking.
ears.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's like music.
She's so happy. I love it.
And the thing is, I appreciate that, and I love when people like, you know, have all the whole thing about it. And I went once to an event where like
I'm gonna take you again for a racetrack.
I'm not going there.
You're going for sure.
I'm in.
sorry.
Honestly, I'm in.
I'm taking you
Girl,
there.
I'm
Okay,
too tired
amazing.
for that, and it's too noisy. It's heavy. You know what I mean? But
Right.
the cars are beautiful though.
Yeah.
And I get it.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like again, it's meant for a certain place.
Yeah.
So
But then
true.
also, I don't think like in the streets they're accommodating the sport cars. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the reason I'm like, same tracks. Let's protect the whole world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we finally have the kind of awareness where people are sticking to racetracks rather than the roads. I remember 10 or 15 years ago, that was not the case.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But now with all the new rules, regulations and everything, and all the speed bumps, you don't even have a chance.
I am grateful.
It just doesn't help at all. you know?
No, but I'm grateful because like sometimes when you see the sport cars and there's like a speed bump, they have to go all the way and then they swerve
But
like
it's
that.
hell,
Like,
Yeah,
though.
exactly.
And it's so hilarious
You know-
because you have to wait in the back.
Exactly.
I'm like, could you speed up a little bit? But that would be so funny because you have that car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's just, again, I love the sports car, but I just don't think it's meant for everyone.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah.
Especially with our lifestyle. And I know there's always so much to do. We're doing so much in Kuwait, all the speed bumps. I love the sports car, to be honest, but
Okay.
I could never be the person that's trying to get over the speed bump.
It really
know?
is difficult. It
It's
really
so
is
hard.
difficult because I see a lot of people that are in their sports cars. They're basically coming out of the track itself, and once they're out, I see the car stops literally right in the middle of nowhere.
That is so sad.
And I'm like, I don't need to be doing this. You know, it's either I take it somewhere else that's much safer and the track really does help with the car, or else I'm not jeopardizing the car itself because it's really expensive to fix that kind of a car.
For sure. It's such a valuable thing, to be honest, or situation. So I feel like they need to stay in the racetracks and not be out on our streets. But ladies, let's take a quick break.
So girls, one of the things that I was like really happy about when I was younger is to get my license. And when I got it, it was the best thing I've ever had in my life. I was driving everywhere and I was enjoying it. I thought I was winning life. And then later on, I got older and then I got stressed.
Exactly.
The streets making me stressed.
Right.
So like, what do you guys think? Do you think driving is more of, you know, a sense of like freedom and independence, or is it more of a stressful thing for you?
Should I go first?
Go first.
Well, for me, you were talking about the story about, you know, getting your license in the first place. I was so excited to the point where like I couldn't wait to just get it. And I can still remember the way I was driving, like with a one hand, and I was like acting pretty much cool.
Love
and
that.
The guy who was pretty much training me was like, hold it with both of your hands. And I'm like, no,
No.
I got this. You know, I got this. And I still remember how stressful it was when I was trying to learn with my dad, because he would always get pissed off with the way I drive.
Right.
So I would get pretty much so stressed to the point where like, I don't even know if I'm even driving anymore. I don't even know how I'm driving.
Yeah.
I got to a point where like, it really is comforting for me to just drive alone by myself.
Right.
But if I'm with someone, I feel so stressed out because I don't even know what they're thinking about, because I'm either driving too fast for them or I'm too slow. It just doesn't make sense to me. So what do you think?
That is so true. Okay, I'm a passenger princess, and I feel like by now everyone knows that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to talk from my point of view. At least when I was learning or got in the car a few times when I got my license, it was the most stressful situation for me ever. I don't want to be alone in a car. I don't ever want to be driving alone. To be completely honest, if one day I do start actively driving, I'm going to want to pick up my friend and then get in the passenger seat and get her to drive. You know, if that works, it works. I'm going to try that every single day until, you know, I have a driving buddy forever. But I do know there's certain people in my life that are not going to be in the car with me ever. Regardless if I'm alone, I have a friend with me, whatever it is. One of my friends is the worst person you can have on the road. So road rage, you know, she can do whatever she wants, but as soon as she's with someone in the car, you know, she is commenting on each and every move they make on the road and their reactions and their speed and their turn and everything.
I would hate it.
She drives crazy, but then when she's with someone, she's scared, she's exaggerating and all of that. So I know that kind of personality will never be in a car with me. Honestly, even as a passenger princess, I don't need that in my life, to be honest. Yeah.
I remember a time where I was very stressed out when it comes down to driving in the streets, and people were pretty much in rage when they were driving and pretty much angry all the time. You guys can see that in the streets. And now I'm pretty much like, you know what? Do what you want to do. I really don't care. And it's like, I don't even stress anymore about it. The same rage that I used to have before is just not the same. If someone gets really pissed off at me for something that they did, I'm just gonna look at them and laugh.
Yeah.
Like
basically
move
let
on.
them.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I love driving so much, and even though the streets are they do make me stressful because everyone is like angry while driving
with the heat as well.
No, honestly. But the thing is, I just enjoy it, and I feel like my car is like my right arm and my right leg and everything, and my home and everything, honestly. And I remember I was training once for to get my lessons, and my brother was right next to me teaching me how to drive. And I remember my foot got stuck in the pedal. And let me tell you, girl, I almost killed people.
I am so anxious right now.
No, girl, and he looked at me and he slapped me so hard and he woke me up. For that moment, I know how to drive.
Oh, wow.
And because he was so scared for his life. But like, you know, I swear, but I've learned to drive carefully.
I can relate.
I swear. And I was driving so careful and I was so happy about it. And now I genuinely understand when I'm driving, I'm very careful and I do my best to be like cautious of the people around me.
Yeah.
And even if I have a passenger, I'm very like slow. I take my time. But I genuinely think it's a sense of freedom, especially in the morning, like 5 a.m., 6 a.m. when there's no one in the street.
It's amazing.
The best time to drive.
I agree.
It is perfect. And you put the music, even there's no need for music. It's meditation at this point.
That's true.
And it's just so perfect. But if it's traffic, right here where I hate my life.
Exactly.
That's where the music is loud.
Exactly.
and I don't want to like transport from a place to another, like just flying or something. I genuinely don't want to be in it.
Yeah.
It's just for me, it's the traffic that stresses me out more than anything
That's
else.
true.
It's never been the driving.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's a lesson learned. But how about this? You guys, we go for a quick break and we'll be right back.
Ladies, there's the stigma around women on the road. It is hilarious, honestly. I don't know how true it is. There's a lot of, I don't know, some people say it's true, others say it's not. Unfortunately, I find myself making unfortunate comments. You know, I'd be like, oh, this person's gonna pass. Oh no, it's a woman, it's over for me. Yeah. And then I feel really bad that I've said that because men are not perfect drivers either.
True.
So I don't know what end of the spectrum I'm at with my opinion, but I feel like it's a judgment that's kind of instilled within us when we see a lady doing something wrong on the road.
Yes. It is so true. What do you think?
I think it's an international thing, especially men. And if we're gonna be quite honest about it, I'm gonna be quite honest about it. There's good women driving, okay? I'm not gonna say no, because I'll try to say I'm not really good at it, but I try my best to drive well. And but I see most of the time there's a lot of women taking their time to like take a turn, and she slows down when she takes a turn on the highway, and it's like, you can't do that, and you don't even put the signal on, and it's like she really gets mad at you when you look at her, you're like, how did you do that turn like that without even putting a signal on? And it's like a fast going road, it's 120, you can't be doing that. She just looks at me like, nope, that street is mine.
Yeah, I get it. But here I am talking inside of a woman, of course, because I'm not here for it. Because I'll be honest, here we are pointing fingers at women driving slowly and doing the worst turns in the world, sure. But also, we're not talking about men swerving everywhere thinking they own the streets. Well, we didn't talk about that.
Yeah.
And there is also a stereotype regarding certain cars.
That's
trucks,
so true.
Where they literally own the street. Yes. They're ready to take over. I'm
scared for my life when one passes
and
by.
Here we are, but we never really talk about them because we're used to talk about women. There is no such a thing. I don't think the stigma started with people talking. That's about it. Because they weren't. No, honestly.
I mean, unless they see it.
But that's not true, because studies show that men do actually die more in car accidents than women.
Because of speed.
Because of speed. Yeah. Women are more careful.
Because of speed.
Here's the thing. Yeah, but that's what I'm trying to tell you.
But for women, it's like they're can't really trespass her. You can't do nothing. Even if you're a woman yourself.
They do that all the time. Nobody said anything to them.
Honestly, I'm just gonna say.
There's so many cars. They think they own
different stereotypes.
Yeah.
We'll let that go. And also a different stereotype when it comes down to women. We're not talking about everyone.
But there's so many stereotypes. I could tell you, I don't want to be racist, but I could tell you Asian, they're bad at driving. There's a stereotype. Is that true? No. That's not true. You got women. Is that a stereotype? No, it's not true, because that's how stereotype starts. It doesn't mean it's actually valid. People just talk and then we all agree to it, even though it's not, you don't know if it's valid or not. Has it been tested? No.
Based on experience?
Honestly,
experience is different. My experience, no, genuinely, from my experience, the men in my life, they're bad drivers. I swear. And even my dad, he'd be like, why are you doing this? Look at her. And I'm like, Dad, you're wrong,
now thinking about it, if I would rather be in the car with my mom or my dad, it's never going to be my dad. It's always going to be my mom, to be completely honest. Yeah, when it comes to that. But also, there was one of the countries, basically, only men could drive. And they had the highest amount of accidents in the world at a point. So,
because they're careless.
When it comes to driving, I think they do get into a lot of accidents. Men do, but I don't know. I feel like women usually get into the, stupid accidents.
That's true.
That's
true.
Getting into their mirror or something.
That's so true.
I don't know.
She would hit, instead of a brake, she would hit the gas.
Exactly. Going into an island.
100%.
That's kind of clumsy. But
exactly.
It's so
like my sister totaled her car because I don't know what happened for a split second. She was literally in traffic. I don't know what happened. She pressed, whatever she pressed, and right into the car in front of her.
There you go.
Literally. While the highway, you know, they can't move already because there's traffic. So how she managed to total her car like that?
Oh,
none of
she
us
pushed
know.
on the
It's
pedal.
the same thing
Yeah.
to me. By the way, I had 2 car accidents. God forbid, no more, please. No, and the cause, it wasn't even me. I was really standing in the traffic light. A man just almost ran me over.
That's happened to me
I
a
had
few
this
times.
twice.
Yeah.
2 men. What are you
Had
trying
this
to
twice.
say? So
Exactly.
I'm just trying to say that the stigma is not true. It's invalid. It just sucks. So people, please be cautious in the streets. Women and men, be careful.
Both.
So
I
yeah,
would go with both.
yeah. So how about this? Because this topic is getting me heated. We go for a quick break and we'll be right back.
So I don't like cars that are overly accessorized. I like seeing someone's personality in their car, but like I notice cars where, you know, they get this portable bin and portable I don't know what, and things hanging on the back seats, on the cushions, on this, on that.
Yeah.
It just gets so annoying. Like when I enter the car, I'm like, ugh, you know, that's not even their personality. That's just like annoying.
Yeah.
Extras hanging everywhere from the car. And to me personally, I feel like it makes the car look tacky. How do you feel about accessories? How do you feel about kind of transferring your life or personality into your car?
I feel like it depends on the person. If that's what you like, that's what you like. But put in mind, if your car is like early 2000s where you have fur everywhere and it's pink or something, I'm not getting in the car.
I'm not a
You're
fan.
not taking me anywhere.
Exactly.
I'd rather take a taxi.
Right.
No, genuinely, I just don't like that. But what I
So
like
true.
is like the stickers in the back of the glass, like the behind, you know, like in the
Right.
back of the car.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it, and if you get creative with it, I enjoy it. Whenever I see like cars having these kind of stickers, I love them and I fall in love with them every single time. And make sure that I will remember your car, so whenever I see you on the street again, I would just smile happily. I'm not gonna say hi because people are crazy, but I will remember the car for sure.
Definitely.
Honestly, and I want to get that, but I think now it's illegal to put stickers. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sure.
We need to find out.
But I need to make sure because I really like them. But other than that, I'm not putting anything in my car inside. I'm not bothering myself.
I mean, so there's certain types of modifications that I would actually prefer. Like there are certain modifications that go with the interior car itself. And it's not about the accessories, but it's about the things that they're using to modify whatever exterior, the interior side to it. And if the car is pretty much, you know, it looks good on it. I don't know how to explain it to you guys, but I'm pretty sure you would understand what I'm talking about. And especially when we're talking about the exterior, the color, the modifications and stuff. Sometimes we would go with 2 different colors, maybe 3 different kinds of stickers on the outside. There are different ways to actually get to experience and doing those kind of modifications within a car itself, which makes it look somehow not tacky, but really cool. And I'm talking about really cool cars like the sports cars in general. Myself, I don't know.
That is so true.
Yeah, it depends on what you're actually going for. Unless you're going with those kind of accessories, especially the one dingling like in the car.
I can't stand
the crystals.
They're
But
so
it was
annoying.
just trend at that time.
It was a trend.
The
and
star
But now it's over.
and the spiky one, I love those. But I didn't have one. I was like, when I'm grown, I'm gonna get me one.
And then the
here
trend's
I am,
over.
The trend is still totally over.
I mean, I had one. It just like, I don't know. I just didn't feel like it was my personality.
Yeah.
I felt like it was so weird just to put it because everyone else was doing it at that time. I was like, no. And I just took it off, straight off.
So true. I remember at a point whenever it was like anyone got a new car or anything, you would go and buy them that crystal, you know, as a gift. And I remember the last time my friend got a car, it wasn't a trend anymore. So I had to get a tiny bit more creative and go for like a keyring, a nice keyring. But yeah, those accessories definitely had their moment. And
they still do.
Honestly, I was just going to say, I've been
Key
seeing it.
still have that.
Yeah, I've been seeing it around, to be honest. So people are still accessorizing their cars. And you know, changing things up. But I love what you said, Iman, that different cars with different you know, exteriors and interiors, you could really play around with how you can make it personal.
What about like the colors? Because some people, they go for like matte, and some of them they go for like the regular glossy look.
See, it depends on the type of a car, because somehow when I look at certain cars and I would go like, okay, that kind of looks nice on it, but it depends also on the color, because I would like a black matte. Like that would look nice on a certain type of a car, but there are certain matte colors that just like,
it don't work.
what?
Yeah.
And like weird cars, weird looking cars with matte, it's just like,
yeah,
no.
it doesn't make any sense.
No.
For me, I don't like math anyways and anything in life. But I saw like, I'll be honest. But like I saw a brown car and it was matte, completely matte, and I was just grossed out. I couldn't stand it. But then like it took me a while for me to accept it every time I see it. And I'm like, now it's whatever. So I can let it be. I think, so I'm accepting that it's a preference and I'm allowing it in the world to be because I cannot stand it.
Yeah, I'm very glad that you're finally able to sleep at night after seeing that brown matte car. But yeah, I feel like we all have different preferences when it comes to cars, colors, accessories, and all of that. But ladies, let's take a look. So one of my friends, I met her through a friend. So when I added her on Instagram, it was name of her car plus mom. And I'm like, and I didn't know that was the name of her car. And I was sitting there thinking, this girl is so young. When did she get a child? Like, you know, when did this happen? But we're not close enough for me to ask her questions yet. Years pass by and I find out that's her car's name. So people out here are naming their cars, and she's not the first person that I've met. I can see your faces and I could tell there's a lot of comments.
I'm so excited.
Please, sir.
I'm excited. My first car, I named her Batta, and it's a she.
Okay.
I felt it in my soul that it's a she.
Nice.
And I named her Batta because she's like a little duckling, you know what I mean?
How
she's so cute. And we went through it together. Let me tell you, she doesn't function no more. My first car is dead. She's ruined, but I love her so much, and we had some good days. And I felt let me tell you, whenever I leave for vacation, I have to say goodbye to her and I have to kiss her.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's that deep. And my new car, her name is Sammy.
How did that happen?
I feel like she's edgy, and I feel like Sammy is like a unisex name that works for both, and that's why I feel like my car is giving that.
Interesting. So if I'm ever gonna name my car, I'm gonna need you because none of that's ever gonna come to me.
What do you think about naming a car, really?
I used to think it was stupid, but now I love it. I'm all about it. Here I am naming my car.
See, it depends on how you want to call it, because sometimes, like, if I would do that, it's just between myself and I.
No one knows.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
I wouldn't like the world to know, like, oh, this is my car's name, or like, I don't know. I don't know. It's
my
just
friends
me.
are announcing the name, and they get offended when I don't remember their car's names.
Oh, that's extreme.
I don't get it. Yeah,
because you're treating your car like a pet, though. You know what I mean? You're treating her like a pet. If it's to the point where you're announcing it to the world, it's like a pet at this point. But for me, it's like my closest friends, and I'm like, oh my God, get inside, meet Sammy.
Wow.
And that's why I don't expect you to remember the name. Okay. I don't really care much. It's my car, and I'm treating her well. And as long as you're happy, that's it.
If you're ladies, if you're happy, I'm happy. I feel like everyone has their own preference when it comes to naming or not naming their car. Personally, I'm never gonna understand. I don't know.
Do you have a pet?
Yeah, of course.
Sure do. You're a mama.
I do have a pet. I am a pet mom. Everyone knows about my pet. Name? He has a name.
See?
And like, trust me, I'm offended if you don't know who my cat is.
It's the same thing.
Let's not bring that up because we're starting to look crazy, you know, with our cars and pets and everything that goes with it. But I feel like if I'm going to talk to you ladies about car names, you could keep going forever. So how about we wrap up this evening?